What's going on, NFC champions? Eventually, what's up, everybody? They clinched in the worst way possible. But who cares? Because the real season starts in 2 weeks. Jalen Hurts, even though he definitely should not have been playing in this game, is going to be able to chill out and hang out with his friends and, kick back and relax a now meaningless Sunday night football game as well. So congratulations to the NFL on the scheduling. Just a bang-up job overall here. John Barchard, Vince Quinn, Taylor Kredatus, all here. And Vince Quinn has brought something rather special to the post-game show. So, Vince Quinn, how you feeling, buddy?
Yeah, I'm feeling miserable, John. That game absolutely fucking sucked in every way imaginable. There was nothing enjoyable about it. It was terrible to watch. The NFL Plus app is complete dog shit and like 8 minutes behind real time. So not a whole lot to love in that regard. But hold on. Oh, baby! It's time to pop some champagne anyway. Who gives a fuck? Thank God I had like 20 minutes to process my emotions between the end of that game and now, because, oh boy, was I sad. It doesn't matter, though. It doesn't matter. We're going to shake this off, and we're going to refresh things and figure it out. Because, yeah, dude, like, just initial reactions to that game, I will just get it out of the way a little bit as John drinks a Bell and the Birdmen Cherry Crush soda, which we're going to mail some of those out.
Just as good as champagne.
Yeah, there you go. So let me take a sip of the real champagne first, I guess.
Ah, yes. There it goes. Oh, yeah. Congratulations, buddy. We made it. Regular season's done.
In the NFC, I've been saying it all year. It feels good to see it official. We've done it. This is the number one thing to get into a Super Bowl. And look, like I just said, I feel all of the exhaustion and frustration that went into this game. They were playing third stringers. They're playing Davis Webb. There's no reason to not blow the doors off that team, and they didn't, and it was competitive enough until the end that Jalen Hurts had to play the whole game. All of that sucked. You're the 1 seed. You're the 1 seed now. It's time to go. This is time to rest, to get healthy, to refocus, which they clearly need to do, and go kick the shit out of people, man. I mean, we've seen this team be great. It's been a little while since we've seen it. I think we all need a reset mentally and physically. They're going to get that, and that's the most important thing.
Oh, yeah. And, man, that's my only, humongous gripe with all this, too, is just – how many times did Jalen Hurts actually throw in this game? It's under 30, right? It just seemed like the most effective things that were happening against a bunch of third stringers was Kenny Gainwell busting somebody's ass. Boston Scott, the Giants killer, got 1, too. And, man, that was a really nice touchdown run. And then just kicking field goals. If you wanted to run the football, score some touchdowns, and kick the field goals, that could have been Ian Book. Forget Gardner Minshew. Like, when between all of the Eagles Twitter getting so nervous about what was going to happen in this game, we kicked our feet up. They didn't score a point until the fourth quarter, and it was Davis Webb's stupid face running in the end zone, trucking poor old Reed Blankenship, and you're just sitting there going like, all right, this could have been anybody. Anybody. And the defense didn't really do it. They were backing off. Slay was trying to get some pick sixes. Jalen was trying to get his, break his rushing touchdown record and all that other stuff. So, I get what they were trying, and if you think this was trying to warm up Jalen Hurts, that is not what happened today. That's just ridiculous.
They were trying to kill Jalen Hurts out there. Are you kidding me? They had him out there playing at half speed. Clearly, that entire game, it was a complete joke, and it was dangerous. I mean, there's no reason to do that for Jalen's sake. And by the way, even for the stat chasing theories that we've had, especially Taylor, he didn't get those records. So, there was no reason for him to play in this game. I mean, they totally just figured they could sleepwalk into this. They'd get 15 touchdowns by halftime, and they could just sit on the bench and yuck it up, and nobody would give a shit. And they had to play the whole game. I mean, that's where they've been the last couple of weeks. And James Bradbury told us that earlier in the week. He was like, yeah, we haven't focused. We just thought we could, sleepwalk through this shit. And look, They're good enough that they can do it, which is the only major positive thing I can say, in addition to, they are the 1 seed, is they're so fucking good and so fucking talented that they can have no game plan, no drive, no ambition, or any sense of purpose in this game whatsoever, and they can still win because it just doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I mean, how many teams lose that game? As aimless as they were, how many teams lose that game? A lot.
Oh, yeah, quite a few. Yeah, the Dallas Cowboys being one of them.
Yeah. Holy shit, Sam Howell. Cheers to Sam Howell. My God, you get some champagne, brother. God damn.
Yeah, you did. There you go, Sam. Cheers to the camera. Thanks to everybody that's subscribing on YouTube, by the way, and make sure you're giving those 5 stars if you're listening on the podcast, and 5 stars to the Commanders and everybody else down there that are somehow tanking and yet, making the Dallas Cowboys lose. And the Dallas Cowboys were playing all their starters. So if you're trying to say that they were, I don't know, but that was horrific, whatever was going on down there. So at worst, after all of this, you literally risk being the 1 or the 2 seed. That was it. Like the tenseness to get Jalen Hurts out there was to risk 1 or 2. I'm glad it's the 1, but it just could have been anybody. But I really want to get to the fucking fun, and that's amazing because we just get to sit back and relax for 2 weeks, and that's relax, not relax, and just kind of wait and pick on the coaching staff, which I'm pretty sure we're going to do on Tuesday. Really build up some really weird narratives about, well, I don't think anybody can just count out. I think this really is going to increase the one and done stuff, don't you? If people take this game at its surface level.
Yeah, of course it is. I mean, look, they played like shit today. They played like shit today against a total really joke of a team. That was hardly I don't even know if you can really call it a professional roster that was out there for the Giants, and they made that game way too competitive for way too long because they didn't try. Jalen was at half speed. He was trying to get out of bounds all the time. He wasn't running the ball the way he normally would. And he was getting hit a lot. I mean, it was dangerous. And there's every reason for people to look at this and go, oh, my God, this is horrible. It's the 3rd straight week where they've been bad. This was with Jalen coming back that was supposed to solve all the problems. I just think they checked out. They've really felt themselves so much. And, again, they're good enough that they can get away with it. Like, all you hope for at this point is that they totally lock their shit in over the next 2 weeks. And I think that's what we all need. I think just as a fan base, we need to sit back. We need to breathe for a moment. We need to watch other teams on next weekend and go like, oh, yeah, that team's not nearly as good as the Eagles. That team's not nearly as good. Oh, we can play this team? Yeah, I beat the shit out of that team. Like, we're gonna talk so much shit in the next week once we get over this, which is why I'm already trying to get over it. You know what I mean? Like, this game in the grand scheme should not matter. If they come out next week or in 2 weeks from now, coaching staff's dog shit, game plan's awful, all that kind of stuff, then, like, yeah, I mean, then there's a lot to talk about. But for now, I really think it's one of those things where they've just felt themselves so much. They knew they were trying to get the 1 seed. Now that it's the playoffs, you get to focus on a new goal. And that's the thing they've been waiting. They've just been waiting to get there. I mean, it's senioritis is really what it's been, right? They're over it. They know what's next. They're not going to put in the work. What am I studying for a Final for when I know I'm going to college? You know what I mean? Like, who gives a shit? So I think that's where they've been, and now they just got to refocus, and that was their biggest mantra for the season. So ideally, that's really who they are and not who they were the last 3 weeks.
And I've been thinking about that Bradbury comment for quite a while now, and I've just been going, if he feels that had to be set somewhere. It's not just like, it's human nature first and foremost, but had to be going on with the coaches. Maybe not Nick Sirianni, but if I'm the coaches, I'm thinking that way too. I'm going, all right, we've just got to win 1 of 3 here. We can basically dial it back for this and this. I'm sure Howie Roseman was thinking that way. We all were. And they should have taken care of a lot of this stuff earlier and blah, 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 and who cares and whatever. But, if the coaching staff is thinking that far ahead, it might explain a lot of the blimps on the radar here, too, where everybody looked like they were in sync and, now it's just kind of like, we'll throw this out there. We'll play this defense. This should be good enough. And a lot of people were pointing out, obviously the Eagles are not giving anything out that they for whatever tape in the next few weeks. If you got to dig up for something, or what have the Eagles been doing? And they've been playing vanilla. Have they been doing that for like the last 2 weeks? Because a lot of this, Jalen came out a lot like Gardner Minshew against the Saints passing early on. Didn't you get that vibe?
This team was playing for the 1 seed today, and all the reports, first off, Jeff McClain had it first. Of course he did, that Jalen Hurts was going to play in this game. Okay, so there you have it. He's the GOAT. You bow down. And then 2, it was followed up, more importantly, by Mike Garafolo saying that not only do they want to start Jalen, but they're planning to build up a big enough lead to take him out at halftime. They did not do that. So if you want to make excuses and say, oh, they're trying to hide stuff, there's really not much that's telling me that was the case, and I think that is the number one concern, and that has literally been our concern all year, John. It's the coaching staff and whether or not they can do a good enough job with this team.
Yeah, I'm with you, but specifically in these cases too, they just thought they're running their vanilla shit against a bunch of third stringers was going to be good enough, and it was, but. Not 21-0, not 28-0 up by halftime and see you later. Like, they were dragging that thing out. And if they really wanted to, it was very peculiar, because I guess if you were going to go that way to protect Jalen that much from running it plus protecting your game plan, why not just run a bunch of second and third stringers back at him where your game plan will at least work, or like everyone's trying their 100%, you can go crush those guys. You should, or just wind it down. I don't know what they were trying to. Like, how is this going to help Jalen Hurts in the playoffs?
They exposed him to injury risk constantly in this, and that was the whole thing. Like, we talked about this earlier in the week, and we were 100% right. You should start Minshew in this game, and if it doesn't work, in case of emergency, break the glass, put in Jalen, and run an actual offense that he actually runs, which is not what they did today, and it's why they got into this mess. It's such a joke, man. Like, it should have been Minshew today. Jalen, there was a drive where, didn't he get sacked 3 consecutive times on the same drive in the red zone? Like, that's awful. And that was part of the reason why he got so many hits today.
Third and goal, yeah.
Yeah, they were awful in the red zone today. So, like, they had no idea for this. They walked into it, and again, like, that's the thing. I don't want to live in negativity land. It's just I watched the game and I hated NFL Plus so much, and all these things hurt me. So I'm COVID positive. I've been locked in my house for a week and I'm going fucking nuts. So all of those things are piling up for me, which is why I'm trying to be positive about this. And I popped the champagne, and like, it is all about the 1 seed now. I don't want to harp on this too much, but today did suck. I would not excuse what the coaching staff did today. And you just got to hope that the time off and the ability to refocus is going to get them refocused, because they need it. This team is not ready to play. And here's the last thing that I want to say related to all that was, there were times in this game where they're trying to, like, later in the game, like late in the second, especially in the third quarter, there's times where they're just throwing it deep because it was like, fuck it, we're trying to get out of this thing. Let's just fucking chuck it, and we're going to force it in and see if that's good enough to get us out of this game, because we didn't expect to be here still. And it did not work. Darius Slay trying to jump around didn't work. Throwing it to AJ Twice. A couple of times didn't work. Like, They were clearly trying to just, like, I said during the live stream, it felt like a tired boxer was trying to swing haymakers and just, like, bullshittingly get through it. So they didn't do that. They still scraped their way through, but yeah, man, I don't know. Again, all this is to say, I'm not excusing what the coaching did today. It could have been a lot better, and Jalen should not have been the guy unless they desperately needed him in an offense that he actually plays.
Yeah, ooh, Taylor, that's a good title for this. Remember that, bullshitting their way to the 1 seed. That's what it felt like. It's just like they were, we'll just sling our dicks out this way, and we'll throw them out this way, and then just everything will be over by halftime. Like, the media was predicting exactly what was going to happen, and they were going to stomp all over them, and that was going to be it. And they're just like, whoops, but I know. Now that all of Vince Quinn's vids will say negativity is roamed throughout the show, I'm here to say, does that stuff matter? Of course it does. It's always mattered. It's what we've bitched about. If you're mad about the red zone stuff, that's been around for 2 years. When it looks like that, it's no more mystery to me where that's going to fall on. Could that be an issue in the playoffs? Maybe. I think against Kyle Shanahan, sure, I guess. It's already been, it happened last year like that, but if Jalen's rolling, if Lane Johnson's here, if all these things and that's probably going to be our biggest questions. In fact, some of our folks were, with us on the live stream. Thank you very much for doing so. And I thought asked a relatively good question, like how concerned are you with Lane at 65%? And if the coaching staff struggles like what we saw in the Giants game, like listen, we saw Alshon Jeffrey with a torn rotator cuff, and we didn't even know it at the time, make amazing plays through that 17 run. When you have just 3 games to go and win, and you'll be a Super Bowl champion, I think your body, your adrenaline will tell you a lot, especially a cortisone shot. We'll just be like, all right, we're going to go and do this thing. C.J. Gardner-Johnson coming out and playing in this game and getting warmed up off of the IR list, which was been phenomenal. He looked like he was ready to go out and play. Robert Quinn getting some snaps out there too. Like, all right, these guys are healthy. It's good to see them that they showed their faces. And when you do put it all together and you start being on like, all right, guys, man, I'll take for whatever reason. When Lane Johnson's here, there's less mistakes on the line too. Even there was that, that Dickerson gaff. What was it? Legal man down the field on the touchdown. So, that's like maybe they do get off the field a lot faster if Devontae Smith's touchdown counts or not. But, like, regardless, I just I feel like the coaching staff is not going to be that much of an issue. You're kind of winding down here. A lot of this reminded me of that Raiders game with Nick Foles with clinching the 1 seed. Ronald Darby, scooping all that up. And it's just kind of, this is exactly what that is. You're on to the next season. And just like you said, I would love to. Here's my first prediction of kicking back and getting to make fun of everybody. Can't wait for Tom Brady to beat the Dallas Cowboys, because that's happening. And then, I invite all the Cowboys fans right on back here to come try and talk shit after that, because, losing to the Commanders, that is just incredible. And after all this, after all the bitching of like, oh no, the Eagles could possibly be the 5 seed, just the Cowboys made sure that wasn't possible today. So God bless them. God bless them, every single one. I think that's going to happen, though. Do you agree? I think Cowboys are going to lose.
Yeah, I think it's trending that way, and obviously I'm the pro Dallas voice of the show, so yeah, I can see it happening. Look, dude, it's just they figured out they have enough going on in the passing offense. They're super one-dimensional, Tampa, but goddamn, it's Tom Brady, it's Mike Evans, like it's Godwin. It's enough. It's enough. So I think they can still win.
And then obviously we've got some things to be figured out. Obviously the NFL did a really bang-up job of making Sunday Night Football not really matter, I guess, at least for the Detroit Lions. So sorry about that. But it's either the Packers or the Seahawks that are heading to the 49ers. I even will say this. If it's Aaron Rodgers, I feel like there's a chance that the 49ers get upset. Otherwise, I think the 49ers will see him in the championship game. But this is the only weekend where I think the 49ers can get beat.
Yeah,
Does that make
Aaron
sense?
Rodgers is a man full of spite, right? He's a spiteful motherfucker. Yeah. And he's from the area. There's reports over the years of like, hey, maybe at some point Aaron Rodgers ends up in San Francisco. They've had some really good battles in the NFC Championship game. I could see him coming out and pulling this one off. Plus, they've been on a hot streak too. I know San Francisco's been really hot lately, but Green Bay's won a lot of games in the second half of the season. So they've got enough of an opportunity to do it. It would be really fun, and honestly, it's a lot easier for the Eagles. I would take Green Bay over San Francisco in a heartbeat.
I would love to know what you're feeling after this. I know the game sucked and it was kind of all over the place, but overall, I mean, at the end of the day, you're going to feel great when you wake up in the morning. If you're listening to this on Monday, Tuesday, you'll feel a little more ramped up. By Friday, Saturday, you'll be right back to, I hope Vince Quinn is going to be after he's drinking this entire champagne bottle of just ready to get onto a big fucking death march and just start making fun of everybody and start ripping left and right and getting everybody fired up again, because I know where that's going. But before you can do any of that, and I know what the other thing Vince Quinn needs, he's going to need some of that liquid death, especially for tomorrow. He's drinking the brown stuff. He's mixing the champagne together. We're not going to get any work done tonight, not at all, because we'll be celebrating the 1 seed. So he's going to walk himself down to the nearest 7-Eleven and go get a nice big 16 9-ounce can of the best mountain water from the Alps that has the flaming skulls that, kind of look like it could be an IPA, possibly one of those stupid energy drinks. No, it's just pure mountain water from the Alps, and we love them dearly. So much so that I am proud to say that they are carrying the flag along with Bell and the Birdmen into 2023, as got some really cool news from Mike from Liquid Death, who will actually be on the show leading up to the playoffs, which is great. But looks like we're going to have another Super Bowl type of year with them in 2023, and we're very excited about that. Go to liquiddeath.com/Bell to find your nearest location of where you can find Liquid Death. And Vince, I got to say that not only am I happy about Liquid Death being here for year number 3, but we were so fucking right about this season, man. And that feels amazing. And for me personally, to hang on to Jalen Hurts takes for 2 years and get looked and called an idiot for about a year and a half, to hold on to all this moment right now is so incredibly special. I'm not saying that for myself and whatever it says. I'm just, the fact that Jalen Hurts has hit, that he is playing at an MVP level, I hope it never goes away. I doubt this is a mirage, but if it is, fucking enjoy every moment of this, because you're about to see what Jalen Hurts has been waiting for his entire life, an opportunity to cash in completely. This isn't a Giants game coming up. This is a lifestyle change. This is a guy that, honestly, a lot of people, even me, were starting to question. We're like, well, shit, look at left-handed old Tua over here. Early on with Mike McDaniels and all these. That looks very similar. Maybe there's going to be some brewing competition. No way, man. There is no competition for Jalen Hurts at this moment. There is nothing that you could possibly think I would want to replace him with, flirt with, other than getting Lamar Jackson here and running the best 2-starter system / QB system in the world. Yes, you can open my mind towards that. But outside of that, man, I mean, for all of the Russell Wilson stuff, we've killed Vince Quinn forever on that. Yeah. I'm ready to let that go now, because we've got a Super Bowl to win. But just for him personally, of even if it was fodder or not, surrounding yourself with all this, you're not good enough, the Shannon Sharps of the world and everybody else that just did not believe that this was possible. I'm so glad this is here. I mean, if you want to talk about the most Ted Lasso moments between Nick Sirianni and Jalen Hurts, we're about to reach the fucking pinnacle of that, and it's pretty insane. Yeah.
And dude, credit to you, because you really have died on the Jalen Hurts hill the past couple of years, and it's come together in a way that I was always skeptical of. I mean, you know me. I'm always like, well, is it possible? Yeah, but is it likely? No. So, I didn't really see this, and you've always seen this and preached it, and it came together. So credit to you there. And, I mean, for me, it's just my biggest thing has been I've spent the whole fucking year just saying this is the best roster in the NFC. And it finally came together, and now it's legitimate proof that this roster is this good. I still don't know about the coaching staff the same way I didn't fully know before the season, but who knows? Jonathan Gannon's going to be the head coach of the Texans sooner rather than later is what that's looking like. Who knows? There's Shane Steichen to the Broncos rumors as much as there's Sean Payton rumors.
Yes.
So,
yes, take him. Yes.
Yeah, they can have him. I'm totally
fine with that than probably everyone in the world. But please take him. Yeah. Yeah, we saw Benjamin Albright tweet. Take it for what it's worth. So
yeah, so we'll see where that goes. But yeah, it feels good to see overall, like where we thought this team would be. The fact that they're here right now, we're both still really confident in where this team could be and whether they can win a Super Bowl. So it's awesome, man. I mean, look, everybody, enjoy the fucking ride. Like, we have not, I mean, this team's been setting records all over the place, and there was a ton they could have set today, and I'm frankly, I'm glad they didn't to some degree. Like, they played like shit, and it's a good wake-up call that they didn't set all these records on a miserable win. So, to see guys like A.J. Brown got the receiving yards record today. Devontae Smith got the receptions record. They got the sack record last week. So, this team is awesome. We've seen them win a lot of games that a lot of good teams and even great teams don't win, and you got to appreciate it. And just whatever's going to be here on the next bit of the journey, it's fun, man. You don't get to be in spots like this. You don't get to be the one seed in a conference like ever. I mean, there's fan bases that have literally never seen it, and they're like 70 years old. So enjoy what you got, and let's go kick some fucking ass, man. I'm excited.
Yeah, me too. Taylor Kredatus trying to ruin my mood by saying, well, Joe Burrow. Maybe Joe Burrow.
Joe Burrow can eat
with
shit.
The Jalen Hurts.
He'll eat shit, all right? We're kicking his ass. We won't even see him in the Super Bowl. He doesn't matter.
That's right. So I'm excited. You should be too. Let's get ready for an amazing postseason run. And, man, if they can do this thing this year, Jesus, it's going to be crazier than the last time, not in terms of impact and celebration. Only did it because if they win this one, there is a 10th or 11th pick waiting for them, along with pick number 32, a bunch of fucking cap room, a bunch of free agents. You can keep redesigning this thing over and over again as long as AJ, Hurts, and Devontae Smith, that nucleus of skill right there stays together. I don't care who your running backs are. Keep that offensive line healthy. And, man, we are talking about one of those McNabb type, terms of success where you get into Andy Reid. Maybe you got to fire a couple of coaches in between. But that's what I'm excited for. Not just what this is going to bring for the flowers that it's going to bear, but the fucking trees that it's going to grow in a solid fucking oak in the next 5 to 10 years. And wherever it lands, I'm excited to be a part of it with you guys. For Vince Quinn, for Taylor Kredatus, we are just getting started, and we hope that you are in for the rest of the way. We'll keep you updated on what we're doing for the playoffs. We'll see you on Tuesday. Bye.